Welcome everyone to Well That's Horrific, a podcast about anything and everything horror. My name is Mr. S.
And I'm Tom Cruise.
Yes, we're close friends who share a mutual love for horror, and we like to give our insights, opinions, reviews, etc., all to everyone out there who's listening. This week is Season 2, Episode 18, and we are going to be talking about The Faculty, a 1998 film. As you can see, Mr. Tom Cruise has it in the background right there. We're going to talk about that, review that, and give our insights about that. But first, this week, we kind of want to change it up. We kind of want to mention our horror news, upcoming news, and just some things that we want to talk about briefly before we get into the review. And we're going to start first with Stranger Things. Now, Stranger Things Volume 1 comes out this Friday, and they recently announced the number of episodes for both Volume 1 and Volume 2, and the length of the episodes. Well, not all of them, 7 to 9. And they also released the first 8 minutes. And I want to know what your thoughts are.
So the moment I saw that, I said, I'm going to hold off. I don't want to just watch the 8 minutes. Sometimes I do like it when they show some early footage, but I'd rather just dive in all at once instead of watching the first 8 minutes and just, being on my edge of my seat, like ready to watch the entire show. I'm excited to watch it, but I just want to wait till everything is out. In terms of the actual length of the episodes and how many episodes are there, I might need some clarification because I did see that some of the episodes are like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand how many episodes are in the second half.
Yeah. So I'll tell you that. I want to mention the 8 minutes for some reason. We are less than a week away from this. They announced this when did they announce it? They announced it on Wednesday, the 18th, if I'm not mistaken. They announced it, the first 8 minutes. Why? Like, that's my first initial thought. Why? Like, if this was like 2 months before, I'd be like, fine, I want to know what they've been up to, like what, everybody's anticipating. But why a week before? Like, what is that going to do for me? I didn't watch it, and I'm not going to watch it. It's on YouTube if anyone wants to watch it.
I wonder if they just didn't have any, like, content to promote. Like, they didn't want to show another trailer, just wanted to keep people intrigued. They wanted to remind people somehow.
Yeah, but you're a week away. You do that, I think, when you're 2 months away, or even a month away.
I'm with you. If it was like a conference thing where, like, we're at New York Comic Con, or like, okay, here's the first 8 minutes.
Yeah.
You have to wait 3 months to the actual premiere of the show. That kind of makes sense, but like,
very strange. Really, like, I'm gonna wait for like you. I'm gonna wait and see what everything's about on the release day. But I just don't know why they did that. If anyone is interested in watching it, it's out there. The first 8 minutes, go knock yourself out. Another thing they released is the number of episodes. So Volume 1 is releasing on May 27th, right? And 7 episodes are being released for Volume 1. And the 7th episode, actually, let me jump onto Volume 2. So Volume 2 is going to be July 1st. And it's only 2 episodes, so a total of 9. That's
confusing.
So it's a total of 9 episodes for the whole season, but 7 episodes first volume, 2 episodes the.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but has a series ever done that before?
Because no, they've never done. They've had 9 episodes every season, pretty much every season. Besides
I don't even
one.
mean like Stranger Things.
You mean like breaking it up, right?
No, so normally when they break up a season, it's usually like a good, like, 7 episodes one season, 6, like 7 one half, 6 another half. Breaking Bad did it for the last season, and they made you wait an entire year from the first half to the second half.
Walking Dead does it every year. Every year The Walking Dead.
But it's the same amount of episodes. I wouldn't call, like, it's hard for them to say Volume 2 when it's just 2 episodes.
So here's the thing. Here's what I thought. So I'm with you on that. I'm not gonna lie. My thoughts weren't really positive. I'm not gonna lie. I guess I was anticipating more. I wanted more episodes this season because it's such a long wait. But then I remembered, honestly, they wrapped up filming around February of 2020, and because of COVID, they delayed it. So I don't want them just to add stuff there just to please us. I'd rather it be great if it's 9.
But it sounds like they have the amount of footage that they need. They just
check it out
to split it up.
So
if they wanted to, if these episodes are an hour and a half, they could split that into at least 2 episodes, if not 3, somehow.
So here's the thing. So they also released the what you call it, the runtime for each episode. So here it is. Episode 7, which is going to be technically the finale for volume 1, is 1 hour and 38 minutes.
So a movie.
And pretty episode 8, so episode 8 and 9 are going to be volume 2. Episode 8 is 1 hour and 25 minutes, and episode 9 is 2 hours and a half almost. So here's the thing. If you think about it this way, 45 minutes is an episode. So, like, if you look at it, 1 hour and 38, that's 2. 8, you can call it 1.5. And then 9 is like technically
3 episodes.
3 almost. So that's technically...
but why not split it into 3 instead of releasing it? I don't know.
Okay. So...
I honestly, I'm with you. I don't think it's my initial thoughts are not positive. But I don't think it's gonna have good reception with the length either, because you're making people you making people watch a 2 hour and a half movie instead of splitting it and saying episode.
True. But then again, you know, a lot of people like to binge, especially if it's on Netflix. So here's my thought. My thought was, damn, we didn't really get a lot of episodes. Like, I'm thinking, like, why is it like every other season? Like, this is supposed to be a big season. You know, a lot's going on. Why is it the same number of episodes? And then I saw the runtime. I'm like, okay, if you think about it, if you divide it up like 45 minutes, like I said, it's technically 12, 13 episodes, which I'm okay with. But the volume 2 is 2 episodes. I trust them. I do trust them that there's a reason behind it. Like, I don't know. We gotta wait and see. I'm still very excited for it. I just don't know what to think right now. The trailer was really good. Like everything up to this point has been positive for me and very exciting. You know, they lured me in. The whole first 8 minutes, I don't know why they released it. Still trying to figure that out. And this whole volume thing, I'm just gonna trust them on it. I don't mind watching it for 2 hours because I'm gonna binge it probably anyway. But it has to be something massive.
I get it that people are watching it that people are binging it, but at the end of the day, the whole purpose of it being episodic is that you give people that sort of that leeway to say, like, okay, I finished an episode and, you know, I can take a break or something.
True.
When you make something 2 hours and a half, now you have to pause it. It's not the same. But I mean, I get it. It's streaming. It's a streaming platform. It's Netflix. But I honestly, I don't think people would digest a 2 hour and a half episode the same as 3 episodes.
True.
There has to be a reason that they're not splitting it, but I don't really see a good justifiable reason. Because you can end the episode on a cliffhanger, like it doesn't necessarily.
True. I see your point. I definitely see your point. The only thing I can try to, you know, say is that maybe, I mean, it depends on how you're watching it too. Like me, for instance, I plan on having like a watch party for the final episode. You know, like 2 hours and a half was like a Doctor Strange movie. Like, you go in, watch the movie, walk out. So
to your point, I think people wouldn't want to watch. Like, if you're a hardcore Stranger Things fan, yes. But it would still be easier for like a watch party or something like that for if it was an hour episode, you know what I mean? Or even an hour and a half. 2 hours and a half, you're already pushing him, I think. Like, and I'm giving you a good comparison. Let me say the Game of Thrones finale, right? I don't remember how long that episode was, but people throw parties for those sort of things because, you know, it's the finale, it's a big episode. If that was 2 hours and a half, I don't know how happy people would be. It's too long. But it's a different sort of. It's a different way of releasing episodes because HBO does it weekly. Is this going to be weekly or is this is going to be just all at once, right? This is going to be like volume 1, volume 2, right? They're splitting it like that. There's no weekly episodes.
They're splitting it. Volume 1, all I think are coming out May 27th, and then July 1st is just the next 2 episodes, unless they're doing something different. But no, it's pretty much like that.
There was a platform. I'm not sure if it was Netflix that recently announced it or something else. Or I think definitely Disney Plus. Because I know Disney Plus does it weekly.
Disney Plus and Apple TV Plus does it too.
Yeah, they do it weekly. But I believe there was something that Netflix did that they realized that weekly is the way. And like, I've said this before, and I have this discussion with a lot of people. I get people wanting to binge stuff, but there's something about watching it weekly. And even weekly, there's also something about watching it weekly at the same, like watching something at a certain time. Because, you know, everybody in the world is tuned in at a certain time. It's like when Game of Thrones was out at 8 o'clock. You knew every Sunday, or yeah, it was Sundays, right? You knew everybody was watching this, and it's something that everybody was doing.
True.
I feel like we lose that now with streaming services, and if you release all the episodes at once, I get it. You please that audience, but you also you end up shortening the amount of time people talk about something because all the episodes were released in one day, and then it's once everybody watches them, that's it. Versus if you do weekly, you keep it at the top of their mind because every week they're on top of it. I don't know.
No, you make a great point. I just think the thing with Netflix is that Netflix is known for that. When people say, "Yo, I binged it on Netflix,"
Yeah.
I feel like it's stuck with it. It's like, yo, they've done it for some shows. I remember watching a show with Jeanette McCurdy. It was like some virus, and they used to do like 3 episodes every other week or something like that. That's the only thing I can remember. But Netflix, I mean, like everyone has their own time. That's the thing. That's the freedom.
I feel like they're eventually gonna move to do weekly. I seriously doubt. Like binging is just not the way. Like I get it that they're known for that, but it's not the better way of doing things.
It's preference. I agree. I see what you're saying.
No, I don't mean by preference. Like yes, it is my preference to like watch it week by week. But I think if I'm thinking from a business standpoint, it's better for them to do weekly than it is to do binging. And also Netflix hasn't been doing well. I don't know if you've seen everything. They're gonna be adding ads to their their platform now.
Well,
it's gonna be an ad
that's
version.
Because everybody's been sharing their passwords.
Yeah,
you got to be honest. That loses a lot of money for them. But I root for Netflix. I do want them to do well. Like a lot of people. I feel when you think of streaming, you think of Netflix. You obviously have a vast selection. But like Netflix was the one who kind of.
Yeah, they started it. Don't get me wrong. They were the biggest streaming platform when they started because they were the only one. They were the beginning. What's really killed them is the fact that now all the streaming services are divided, so they lost a lot of movies and stuff.
Yeah. We'll see. But I wanted to mention that, again, everyone, first 8 minutes are out. By the time you're probably listening to this, you're going to have like 3-4 days anyway. Me personally, I would wait for it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to binge it myself and just enjoy it. Like, the week is here, thank God, and I'm gonna move on. You cool with that?
Yep.
All right. Next thing I wanted to mention real quick: we reviewed Umma and we reviewed X on our podcast. So if you haven't, go watch that. But it's also coming out on DVD on May 24th. So if anyone's ever is interested in that, haven't seen it yet, go get it on DVD. Moving on from there. Spirit Halloween. So Spirit Halloween is a movie that's coming out, and Doc from
like Spirit Halloween the store.
Yo, Spirit Halloween is that store. Like that was heaven for me, but they closed it down, man.
Is it? I mean, it's a site, no?
No, man. I don't know. Last time I heard was they were closing it down, and I was so heartbroken.
Like
it's such a great, permanently. Because that's so.
Like isn't Spirit just like a annual thing? Like during October,
no,
they open
Spirit was open every 6 days of the year. They were closed. 6 days out of the whole year they were closed. I remember it because I asked the lady who worked there. I was so happy, and that was.
I thought it was a yearly. I thought it was only for the month of October or something.
Anyway, so Spirit Halloween is a movie that's coming out, starring Lloyd. The guy from Back to the Future.
Yes.
So apparently, this is the synopsis. He plays a wealthy land developer, Alec Windsor. Decades ago, on Halloween night, Windsor disappeared without a trace, and ever since, his cursed spirit is said to haunt the town each year on October 31st for 1 hour. So they released some pictures of the movie. It looks interesting. I think this is something I want to add onto my list to watch, actually. But it's a good concept. I like the title. Title hooked me, so if anyone's interested in that, there's some pictures out there. Real quick, lastly, what I want to talk about, we're waiting to see if Neve Campbell is on Scream, right? But we don't know that. But what we do know is that Neve Campbell is joining a show called Twisted Metal on Peacock. It's supposed to be a comedy TV series with Anthony Mackie. So
it's usually not good news, though. If she's on another project,
that's what I was just about to say. So if she's on another project, that probably means that she's not going to be in Scream. And honestly, But that's okay. That's okay. I know you're freaking ecstatic about this,
Yeah,
but
not that I'm ecstatic. I think I would rather they not announce her in the movie, and then either kill her off or
oh my god, man.
do like an after credit scene. Do like
With
a
her?
yeah
Yeah,
with
yeah,
her.
yeah. Okay, if that'll
But
that'll that'll
either way,
accept.
whether it's the beginning of the movie at the or at the end, she has to die.
Yeah, but yeah. So I wanted to. If you're Scream fans, if you're out there wondering what she's up to, this is what she's up to. I don't know. We got to start like a trend on Twitter or something. Be like, yo, Neve Campbell Scream 6 or Scream sequel, whatever. But that's pretty much it with the horror news right now. With that being said, we're gonna be talking about, like I mentioned before, The Faculty. I'm gonna give it out to Tom Cruise. But before I give it to him, I just want to say this movie. Like, I'm not gonna be biased. I'm really not. But this movie has got to be one of the most underrated and unappreciated movies out there, and personally, one of my favorites. I really, really like this movie. Go ahead, Tom Cruise.
Yes. So you mentioned this movie to me, and it had been a while. So I had seen this movie, but a couple times actually. But it had been a while. I did rewatch it. I do think it's definitely a timepiece. Like when it comes to like this sort of '90s sort of teen movie, and then mix it in with horror. That's what I think about when I think about The Faculty. And with that being said, I'll read out the plot synopsis here. When Casey Connor, Harrington's high school newspaper photographer, witnesses the murder of a nurse and sees her alive again, he decides to investigate the bizarre happenings. This movie is directed by Robert Rodriguez, and
this is Kevin Williamson.
Yes,
this is Kevin Williamson's movie,
Kevin
man.
Williamson.
This is his story. This is his movie. So you know it's goated. And you know what's crazy? I did not know that he wrote this until I grew up. I didn't know this when I was younger.
Yeah, I didn't know this either.
You see a lot of elements of Scream in this movie. But go ahead. Yep. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off like that. I was just happy.
No.
Go ahead.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Honestly, there's a lot of elements that you can see like foreshadowed that would eventually be, or that were in Scream, because yeah. So, I mean, let's talk about the cast, right?
Oh my god,
you got
it's
Jordana
packed.
Brewster from the Fast and the Furious series.
Before you continue, I'm gonna let you read out everyone. But this cast is packed. I mean,
we got Hayek.
Every single body in this movie is famous and successful. Like every single body is insane. Go ahead.
No, I mean Jordana Brewster from everybody knows her from Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Josh Hartnett, of course, we know him from H2O,
which was released the
30 Days
same
a Night,
year. Released the same year. So he was doing his thing. I like him a lot.
That usually happens. We got Jon Stewart in this movie. We got Elijah Wood in this movie. We got Usher in this movie. We got Salma Hayek in this movie.
Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity, by the way, he has his own show in Animal Kingdom. On TNT, it's called Animal Kingdom, and that's doing great. Famke Janssen, she plays in Taken, the mom. I don't know if you guys have seen Taken. Robert Patrick. What's her name? Bebe Neuwirth. She played in Frasier as the.
Yeah, this is a pretty extensive cast.
This is a packed, what you call it, cast here. And honestly, they are the reason why this movie, I think, was, in my eyes, a great movie, a successful movie. Like, they play kids in high school who obviously are discovering that, The Faculty, the title of the movie, is been acting a little bit strange, a little bit out of the ordinary. The coach tells Stan, he tells him like, oh yeah, sure, you can quit the team right before our big game. It's not a problem. And usually he's like a hard ass. And the nurse wasn't feeling well at one point, and she saw them get attacked, and then out of nowhere she's fine, and like stuff like that.
Well, what's his name? The gym teacher,
Robert Patrick.
Yes. Oh, we know him from Terminator.
He's
the
bro.
T-1000, man.
Oh my god, bro. He's insane. He's like the first one to be like. So the synopsis of this movie and that IMDb gives you doesn't really do it justice. So basically, people one by one in this school, the faculty, starting with the faculty, have been acting, like I said, out of the ordinary, and that's because they are being taken over by an alien presence. So picture me, but like somebody plants like this little alien species in me and it takes over my body.
So they mentioned the movie that references that. I mean, that I thought of immediately when I think of this movie, which is the Invasion of the Body Snatchers,
Right.
which has like 3 movies itself. So it's been remade a couple times. It's basically the plot of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but it's very on the nose. Again, it's Kevin Williamson. They mention Invasion of the Body Snatchers. They have one person who what's her name in the movie? Stokely, Stokes,
Yeah,
like,
yep.
she's like the genius behind everything, where she knows all these movies.
Right.
Again, that's another like Scream sort of thing. Where she like
Randy.
knows
She's like Randy.
yeah, exactly. She's like Randy. She's like knows the lore of everything, and she knows how everything would be. She knows that there would be a queen. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of elements like that in this particular movie, and I don't know. I really like this movie. But as I watched it, I just kept on seeing things from other movies. Like I also feel like this movie has a lot of references to It Chapter 1.
Well, I think that's why this movie like is not appreciated like that. I feel like it's what you call it, like that, like what you just said. Like you've seen it before. Like it's nothing really new with this movie.
But have you seen it before, or is it a reference to? You know what I mean?
I mean, I would say I've seen it before because I'm referencing it to Scream.
Yeah,
you know?
but so let me give you an example, right? I chalk it more to as being a reference to when he's mentioning the movie. So, for example, like if I'm watching this movie, I say, okay, it reminds me of the Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But then as I'm watching it, the characters mention Invasion of the Body Snatchers, then he's clearly referencing it. It's not like he's just copying the idea. You know
right. Of course.
That to me is more so a reference, even though again the plot is basically the same plot. There are small things where like it's so on the nose that it's more so like it's obvious. It's not like it's not like you've seen it before. It's more so like he's giving a nod to. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't know, man. I think this movie does a great job of telling a story. And like with aliens, you're usually me personally, like with aliens, I gotta adjust my brain. Like, okay, I'm about to watch an aliens movie. Like, here's what it is. You know, here's what I'm gonna expect. But no, I didn't get that. Like, I got more of a I'm rooting for like the people, but more in the sense of like, it felt like a mystery, like a mystery slasher. I know it's not, but I felt like it was a mystery. Like, you're trying to figure out who's the queen alien, and you got to get her first in order to like save everybody else. And like me, I'm a fan of this movie because of Josh Hartnett. Like I think he did a great job, man. Like he's like the high school senior who got left back. He's not even the protagonist. He's not. Elijah Wood is
like a supporting character. He's like a big supporting character.
But he has a
That's
big
another
role.
thing about this cast.
Genius.
Like, there's a lot of characters who have like big roles in this movie.
Exactly.
He's at the center of this poster, but he's not the protagonist.
Yeah.
You would argue, of course, Elijah Wood is the protagonist of this movie, and he's off to the side. And then in this particular poster, they put Usher here, and they didn't even put Sean what's his name, Sean Hardesty, Stan. Yeah. They didn't put his character here, who plays a bigger part than Usher.
Well, he's behind him.
Yeah, but still.
I don't know why they did that. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. Usher. I mean, Usher's in the movie, but not like that. He's not a main character.
You know why they put him there? Because exactly. He's a name. So like you're like, oh, Usher's in this movie, and you gotta remember this movie came out. Fucking Usher was the shit. So of course it's like when you
trying to say Usher not the shit right now.
Well, you know, right now it would probably be Justin Bieber or somebody else.
Right.
So remember there was a time frame where like even Fast and the Furious did it. A lot of these movies did this where they added a celebrity just to get that, you know, more attention. You're like, oh, this celebrity's in this movie, and it just added a little bit of spice on top of the movie, on top of the fact that, you know, it was a great movie. But this movie has so many references, like I can't stop. One, for me, it's Chapter 1. There's a lot of small references in the cast itself, in the big monster at the end. That would be It Chapter 2. If you go into the reveal or the big roach-like being in the original It Chapter 2, very similar to the design of the final monster in this movie. Obviously, you can say Scream in the mystery, since Scream came out 2 years before this, I believe, or 3 years before this. What was the other one? Obviously, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and then the big one, the big one, is The Thing. Like,
of course,
it's blatantly obvious, and I don't know, do they mention The Thing? I feel like they do. but like they do the test. Their version of the
It's,
test is
yeah,
snorting this caffeine drug.
yeah.
Um, it's very similar to the test in the Thing. By the way, I absolutely love the Thing. By the way, the original Thing is so good.
We can talk about it when we get the chance. Absolutely.
The like very similar to the test that they do that movie with
Kind of kills.
with the little metal rod and the blood.
Yeah.
All the kills, of course, the monsters, the way they're designed. There's a lot of things about this movie. Again, I really like this movie, but really what stood out to me was more so like this is like a mashup of like all these movies that I really like.
Well, so here's the thing. Yes, and like I said, I think that's probably why it wasn't rated highly or as popular because of that. My thing is, it's Kevin Williamson. So I don't want to keep going back to Scream, but Kevin Williamson is the reason why Scream was so successful. The way he wrote it, the references he used in Scream, and it worked because no movie has ever done it before Scream like that. But here he does it a lot, referencing other movies like that, which is fine. I thought it worked well. I think it's well. But when I told you, like, I know it's aliens, and I said, like, alien movie, like, I didn't feel that way because even the way the lady, by the way, if you haven't watched it, you're 24 years late. But the lady, Laura Harris, she plays Mary Beth. She is the queen alien behind everything. And she explains her story well. Like, like my land dried up. Like, if you're taken over by me, like, you don't have to worry about emotion and stuff like that. You can live free, like the Thing didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no story behind it like that, So
but,
I thought it had its own.
The mystery of the Thing is what made it interesting. It's just
Of course.
the fact that you didn't know. It's that sort of Halloween element where like you don't know why he's killing people, but that's what makes it interesting. Once you find out the motive, it's more so like now it's not as interesting.
Right. But I think it has a lot of elements of horror in this movie, man. A lot of elements of horror. A lot of I love it. I'm a sucker for movies where outcasts and popular people come together and like gotta fight like the bad guy and. Like they deliver it well here, especially Josh.
It's a 90s teen movie where you have like the nerdy guy who can't get the girl, and by the end he gets the girl. Then you have the jock, who actually doesn't end up getting with any girl. What is he? What would you call Josh? The jock is the football player, the quarterback.
He's the high school. What you call it?
Well, what would you call Josh Hartnett's character? He
failed. He repeated his senior year. He's a standout, but like. He's like a standout, like he's like on a bad road, smoking, making.
He's the
like,
bad boy.
Selling dope.
He's the bad boy, but he's like secretly smart. Smart.
OD smart, but he's not a junkie either because he even says it in the movie.
He doesn't do his own drugs. Yeah,
exactly.
He just literally sells it, but he's super smart. Literally made him.
I don't know, man. I really like every time I watch this movie, I don't skip it. I like this movie a lot. But I don't know. I think the actors, man, they have a.
It's a hell of a cast. I can't think of another '90s movie. I mean, I'm sure there are, but this is one of the ones that has like absolutely crazy cast when you come and think about it. Like Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood reminds me of Tobey Maguire so much. I don't know why.
No, reminds me. No, I mean the one that he always gets confused for is this guy from Harry Potter.
Daniel Radcliffe?
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe.
No, I can see that.
Everybody says they look like. I don't know if you mentioned, but this movie also has Christopher McDonald.
That's right.
Famke
plays his father.
Janssen from the X-Men trilogy, who played Phoenix.
It's insane.
This movie has
I've never seen. Yo, what movie do you know besides? Don't count Avengers because that doesn't count. But what movie has a cast like this?
I'm sure there are some from the '90s, but like at this time. I don't know, man.
Because they were new and upcoming. That's why like all these people here were new and upcoming.
It's just crazy to think that this movie had such a crazy cast.
John Abrahams, he's the one who played in Scary Movie as the killer. Bobby. He's
yes. He's casted as the fuck you boy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's insane, man. Did you know? You want to read some Did You Knows from IMDb?
Sure.
Did you know a lot of filming was done at the high school in Lockhart, Texas? The football team was used and the city was told to show up for the football game and were given fake t-shirts to wear in the stands. Okay, I didn't know that. There's a lot of trivia here, apparently.
No, they have a lot of trivia.
The drug test scene is an homage to the blood testing thing.
Of course, I'm
You
telling you, this
mentioned-
entire movie is an homage. That's why I say it's not a reference. Like it's not like I've seen it before. It's more so like he literally is referencing these things.
right.
Also, let's not forget, right? This movie is directed by Robert Rodriguez. You know how much work Robert Rodriguez has done. Like we know him for so much, from El Mariachi, from Grindhouse. He worked on Grindhouse with Quentin Tarantino. He did fucking Spy Kids. He's still doing work.
Spy Kids, yo, haven't seen it in ages.
Yeah, this is the director of Spy Kids, believe it or not, or at least one of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting. These facts are kind of funny. Usher's film debut, yeah, I knew that. Thanks. Josh Hartnett's second feature film. That's true because you did Halloween H2O. The film takes place from September to October. That's no relevance to me, but sure. It was on set of this film that Harry J. Knowles first got wind of Peter Jackson making The Lord of the Rings into a movie. He urged Elijah Wood to go for it, even though the actor had never read the book, which Wood duly did, ignoring the news that Jackson was largely casting British actors and videotaped his own audition. That is insane. Think about it, bro. This is how the acting. I'm sorry, the film industry.
This is how Hollywood is.
Yeah, exactly. This is how they work.
This is then all of a sudden.
Yeah. Think about it. If Elijah Wood never did this, he would not be in that.
This was also like was it Clea Duvall's like big movie? Like I don't know if it's her first movie, but I know this is like what she's mostly known for. This is like her breakout role. Before she was in anything. Yeah, I
like it. I'm cool with that, man. I'm.
What else do we know Clea Duvall from? Because I know from a couple of things. She's in a movie. She's in. So I'm looking at their page now. She's in Ghost of Mars, which is, by the way, one of the movies that I hate the most. Have you ever seen Ghost of Mars?
No, I've never seen it.
You haven't? Don't.
What is it about? I'm about to look it up right now.
It's so strange, man. All I remember is these beings with these crazy piercings. It's such a bad movie, man. Guys, if you've seen this movie, I do want to know what you think about it. Ghost of Mars. 2001? I absolutely hate it. Yes. It has Ice Cube, by the way. Yep.
Jeez, that doesn't look like a pretty picture.
Yeah, okay. It's I hated that movie so much.
Jason Statham's in this movie? What?
Well, and I love Jason Statham. But
I love him. What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. I love Jason Statham, but it's not it.
Damn.
It's not it. But what do we know Clea Duvall from? So she's in. I feel like there's another movie that I'm forgetting her from off the top of my head. She's in She's All That. Maybe that's where
I've seen She's All That. Yeah.
Is she in Can't Hardly Wait?
What else is she in? Zen Dog. No, she's not in anything. She's probably the only actress from this movie that's not what you call it up. I mean, I don't know. Everybody has their own path in Hollywood, you know.
You know what I remember her from? She's in New Girl. Bam. You ever seen New Girl? She's in that.
No, I haven't seen New Girl.
She's in like one episode of New Girl.
She's in Grey's Anatomy too. Awesome. But yeah,
that's
man.
What I remember.
If you had to rate this movie, what are you gonna give it?
If I'm taking it at face value when I saw it, I'd probably say like an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I really liked it.
Yeah, I agree. That's literally. Yeah, I hated that we have the same ones. I'm gonna say.
You can't agree with me, so you have to give.
I can't because I can't go higher, honestly, or lower. So I'm gonna say A2. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I really, really enjoyed this movie. Like, you know, as a kid, I watched it plenty of times, and like even now, like it's on HBO Max. If anyone has it, they can watch it. I don't know what else it's on, but it's great. I don't know. It's great. It's an interesting movie. You have to get into it a little bit, but because it's a little slowish, and
but once it starts, it starts.
Once it starts, it starts.
This movie does have like a very interesting introduction because it goes through like that sort of teen rhythm of all those movies where it like introduces every character. Like it introduces the jock, it introduces the outcast. It introduces every character before it really starts up. I feel like Elijah Wood isn't in like the first 15 minutes of this movie.
Nah. It's that. Is he?
I feel like he's not in the movie. So like, again, this
until the class scene where he brings the species that he finds.
Yeah, exactly. Which I feel like is like at least 10 minutes into the movie. I feel like this movie does have a weird formula in terms of like its characters, because it's very hard to say Elijah Wood is the protagonist, but which he is, I guess. But
Yeah.
Josh Hartnett does kind of steal the show.
Yeah.
And some of the other characters do have big roles as well. I feel like the entire team are the protagonists.
Yeah, me personally, I think Josh's character is the best one.
He's definitely the most interesting out of them all.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Yeah. He's a fighter. He's a fighter in this one.
Yeah.
But these are one of those '90s films that like I love, that made the '90s. You know, and
yeah,
it's a lost art.
Guys, if there's more '90s movies, '90 horror movies that you think we should watch, let us know. Please refresh our memories, because I don't know about Mr. S here, but my memory is kind of, not so great when it comes to these movies. I usually see them and then forget about them and then remember, like, oh, I remember that movie.
All the time. That
happens to me so, like I wasn't even thinking about The Faculty, and then the moment you mentioned it, I was like, I've seen this before. I just have to refresh my memory.
Yeah, absolutely. Any
that's
90s movies
not
you
to
want
say
us
that
to
it's a
review,
bad
let us
movie.
know. No, it's not. It's just there's so many out there. We've seen so many. We're reviewing so much, so it's like it gets lost up there. But
I do like this '90s era of movies. So if there's any other movies that we're missing, please let us know.
Yes, absolutely. I also just want to say to everyone who's like been listening and also just engaging with us, thank you. Like we really mean that. Thank you. Like
definitely, I appreciate
TikTok
it,
videos are like I don't want to say blowing up, but like they're getting a lot of likes and like views and comments, and even on Instagram when we post them, like a lot of people about the Friday the 13th, like they didn't know about some facts, and then a lot of people were like, I saw some people like debating about it on like, I think what fact did you say? Oh, you said about the whole plane things. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I never saw it. One guy's like, yeah, I think I've seen it. Like it's fun like to know everyone's. It's not just our inputs; it's everybody else's input. So if you have something to say, something to add, I promise you, it's gonna come up here. Like we'll show it to you. But yeah, man. Honestly, that's it. I don't know if you have anything to add or want to talk about, or
I mean, I kind of mentioned this to you before the show, but I was able to get my hands on a Steam Deck. So if there's any like games you think I should check out, I've been downloading a huge selection of horror games that I've had in my backlog. I have all the Amnesia games downloaded, all the Fear games. Layers of Fear 2, Perception, Outlast. If there's anything you think I should check out, please let me know. I'm excited to kind of test this thing out, and now that I have the portability of it, that really makes me want to play.
True. And not even just for that, but any horror game that you guys have to share, I would love to play it and experience it. We could even like stream it if you want, but I would love to. And Outlast 1 and 2 are done. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
I never finished Outlast 2.
So you can do the Outlast 2. This is what I wanted to talk to you about, actually. Evil Dead.
Yes.
The first day, I think, or something, sold like 500,000 or something.
Yeah, it sold a ridiculous amount.
Damn.
Yeah, I have Evil Dead. I haven't played it much. I played it a lot the first couple days, but I haven't played it in a while. But it's a really good game. It is a really good game.
Interesting.
I just feel like the more people you have to play it, the more exciting it is. And also, I don't think I ever mentioned this, they're also making a Texas Chainsaw game, which is interesting too, depending on how that works and exactly how they do that. I don't know if it's a multiplayer game, but I can see that being exciting. Exciting.
I would love it if they made an official Halloween game. There are some great fan-made ones out there. I've played one that I really liked. It was just short, but it was really, really good. You have to like donate something if you want to donate, but I really wish they made like an official one. That'd be sick. Or like somehow make it an online one, like kind of like Friday the 13th. So like how to hide from.
Yeah, but you see, like Friday the 13th took a lot of effort to make. Like that's not something that people would make. That would take an entire team. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention?
That's what I'm saying. Officially,
this is actually huge.
What?
Did you get to see the teaser trailer for Prey? The Predator movie that's coming out. So, when you get the chance. It's really short, but it looks very interesting, and it looks like they're going the whole, what's the name of that movie? The whole kind of apocalypto route, where it's all like native actors, and all you see is basically, I don't even want to tell you. Just watch it when you get the chance, guys. If you haven't seen it, they're making this another Predator movie to the franchise. It's coming out this summer, August 5th, 2022. It's called Prey, and they have a teaser trailer out. Definitely get a watch. I believe it's coming on Hulu.
August 5th?
Yes,
They're
August.
mad late with a teaser.
Yeah,
Damn,
August
that's a
5th.
late teaser.
I mean that's technically 3 months away. But maybe they're just holding it up.
I don't know. Maybe they released like the first 8 minutes before, a week before. You never know.
This is something that should have released the first 8 minutes for, maybe.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, that's all I got, guys. Please comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's anything you think we should watch. Follow us on IG and TikTok at Well That's Horrific, and on Twitter at That's Horrific.
Yep.
Because if you don't,
well, that's horrific.
Well, that's horrific.
Peace.
Peace.